I'm excited to chat with you because you have this new song out right now, Roll One with Willie. I'm curious, where did the concept come from?
I was sitting around. Well, actually, I was on a Zoom right with Chris Buck and Zach John King and Ben Chase, and we were sitting there. We were just kind of throwing song ideas around, and one of them mentioned, I got an idea. If what if I could roll one with Willie? And we all just kind of were like, hey, let's do that. That one's a good one. And that's really how it kind of come about. Never written with the guys before. They're all great guys, but we sat there and wrote it. I think Chris was actually he was just hanging out with Ben that night, and Ben was like, "You mind if my buddy jumps on?" We were like, "Nah, come on." And so there was the four of us.
My goodness, what kind of response have you already been receiving to the song? Have people been like, I wish, I wish?
It's done pretty well. Of course, I would always love to see more improvement, but it's done really well. A lot of good write ups and stuff, and magazines and publicity wise, it's done really well on that end, and it's done okay on social media. But just like everything else, you got to just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And finally, one day, hopefully, it'll take off like I really want it to.
Who are some of the musical influence you had when you were growing up?
Ah, Lord. I think the very first country song that I ever really truly remember, I think it was Ropes in the Wind. It was on cassette. It was Garth Brooks, like Unanswered Prayers or some song like that. And I just started, that was when I was really young. I can't remember how old. Cassette will tell you kind of, it's been a while.
Right.
Uh, but it wasn't until after I got out of high school and into college that I really started kind of delving into country music, like Keith Whitley and big time '90s country. I love '90s country.
You talked a little bit about the writing for this particular song, but do you have a process typically for when you do write your songs? Do you need to have music before you can craft your lyrics?
Sometimes, I mean, I think a lot of it is just when it happens, when it comes to me. I think,
Hmm.
I know some people are different, but I think a lot of people, an idea pops in their head or a melody pops in their head, and you try to work off of that. Um, a lot of times for me, I would say it's more words, and then I try to put a melody to it.
Okay.
But that's normally how it goes. Yeah.
How involved are you then when it comes to the process of producing the songs?
Like me actually as a producer, like producing the songs,
Hmm.
I I have good help a lot of times. I mean, a lot of times I have a vision or kind of a thought in my head of where I want it to go, how I want it to sound like, and just with Rolling with Willie, Jake Parshall produced that and knocked it out of the park, and actually sent me one a day of a new song I got coming up here in the next couple months, I say. And when I first listened to it today, it gave me cold chills. So I've been in some pretty good hands here lately when it comes to like the producing side of music.
I have to ask, with this track out now, is there an EP or maybe a full album in the works as well?
No, not probably not this year. I think we're gonna stick with just releasing a few singles. Partly money wise, it's so expensive. Doing it as an independent artist, it's just it's coming out of my pocket. Right now, like I said, I think we're gonna stick with two or three more singles this year, and
Okay.
let's see what the future holds for next year, and go from there.
All right. Well, have you been performing live? Do you have any upcoming performances as well?
Yeah, actually, I've been playing live music since about 2012, so 12 years now, I guess. Started in a cover band and kind of got tired of it. We were playing the same places all the time, and I just wanted to do something different. So I started playing by myself, just acoustic, and I did that for probably 3 or 4 years, and I kind of got a little tired of that, so I slowed down, and I met a buddy from I live around Charlotte, and I met a guy from around here, and we started playing a good bit together, and he was talking about releasing music, and I was like, I think I'm gonna release some music. So that's kind of I've been playing a long time. trying to build that craft, but trying to build the entertainer side of music. But I'd say the next big show, I think it's confirmed we're playing Eddie's Attic in Decatur, Georgia, September the 26th, if I'm not mistaken.
What can people then expect from a live Daniel Jeffers performance?
Oh well, there will be cold beer on stage, I imagine. If it's allowed, it'll be there. Just I want everybody to have a good time. I want to have a good time. I want the crowd to be involved. And when they are, that makes me have an even better time. And I hope it shows when I'm performing. If even if it's a cover song and we're playing it and people are singing along, that I'm like, all right, cool, I've done my job.
Will there be any collaborations you've been working on in the near future, or ones maybe that you dream about working with in the near future?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I could collaborate with like Chris Stapleton, that would be the number one on the list. But I actually just released a song collaborated with Haley. She's a friend of mine, and we released a song back in June as well called "Better in the Rear View," and it's done very well. That was the first, I say, collaboration that I've ever done, and it's done well. It's a good song. It's a fun song. So, but yes, definitely Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton would be my number one if I had to choose.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music you make?
Just thank you guys for believing in me when I don't believe in myself sometimes, and continuing just to push and help me get to where to achieve my dreams and where I want to be in life. Couldn't do it without them at all.